I want to play you a video and I want you to pay attention to the minister and tell me, what do you see? Well, maybe you're not going to be able to tell me immediately, but tell me I am seeing what you sing. Okay, here we go.
CPA, Section 42, clarifies that there can be a citizen arrest, but there are procedural matters that you must follow. So you don't wake up and just do. You must follow those steps. If you don't follow CPA Section 42, you will be arrested as well.
Okay, CPA. Do you know what CPA is as an ordinary South African? Well, CPA is Criminal Procedure Act. You know, the one that the very same minister and her government are trying their level best, not for the people of South Africa, to use it to their advantage during this time. Remember how they keep telling us that we are not police officers, we are not this is for the authority, and yet the same authorities are taking bribes. I mean, we saw last week on this very day that policewoman who stole 2,000 rand from a driver. Yeah, those are the people we're supposed to rely on when it comes to illegal foreigners in a country. Because we are not police officers, we cannot ask for people for their papers. You know, I was looking also at this video. Well, I'm going to just end it here. You are telling me that the same police officers that go to all these people that are scattering, running away, they have not collected protection fee from these people. I don't think so. You know, I would have been more appeased as a South African citizen if I heard that those police officers that you see, I think it was Hillbrow, not being from Hillbrow police station or nearby police stations. I would have understood maybe if they said there was some kind of a rotation or a swap of Pretoria SAPS and Hillbrow police station SAPS. They swapped because the criminals and the people they've been collecting protection fees from wouldn't say, my brother, brother, after catching them. Because as probably the day progressed, all those people that they were pretending to be chasing after, they're not in Lindela as we speak. They are not being processed to either be repatriated or deported to their countries. And some of them are criminals with criminal activities that they were caught doing. And they managed to, once again, slip through the cracks because they are illegally in the country. So justice will never be served. That is what this minister, because in the beginning she said, oh, you're not allowed. And now that South Africans are saying, hang on a minute, the little thread that we have called Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act, well, she says Section 42 of the CPA, because she wants to confuse you and me. Like, they must not know what CPA is, but I will say what needs to be done in order for you to put into practice Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act, you must follow the procedure. Hello, we know the procedures. That is another way also of treating us as if we're stupid. We know what needs to be done. There needs to be reasonable ground that this individual is committing a crime or has committed a crime or will be committing a crime. Okay, will be part because it's still being premeditated. We can wait until the crime has been commissioned and also executed. But she comes because she doesn't want to answer directly. And quite frankly, from where I am seated, it sounds as if she doesn't want to antagonize the people that have strings attached on their back, the owners of South Africa. Whether those are Africans on the African continent, like your Ablakwa, like your Mnangagwa, like your Rutos, like whoever that is watching them losing control over their citizenship. No, they have not lost control over their citizens. The constitution of this country says that this minister and the interministerial committee, they must run this country on the basis of the will of the people. That's what they need to do. So you can tell that the whole CPA thing being actually mentioned as CPA instead of Criminal Procedure Act, so that their counterpart on the African continent can understand that this is enshrined in their law, that the people of South Africa are actually in control. They are in control because they failed as the government to ensure that our borders are protected so that our national security as well as our sovereignty, it is protected. CPA. And in the CPA, they need to follow the process. We know the process. We're not stupid. But we know that there needs to be reasonable ground. And then she goes up, if they don't follow the process, then they will be arrested, meaning we will be arrested. So to me, it sounds like she was banking on us making a sort of mistake. But at the same time, what will be deemed as a mistake for me as a citizen executing citizen's arrest? What would a police officer, after I have brought him, and I know that this is an illegal foreigner. You know, illegality is a crime. And therefore, when I say I'm here, I have done citizen's arrest on this illegal foreigner. Now, what would make the police officer deemed me to have committed a crime that I did not follow in the Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act? These are the things that she was supposed to explain, not make, in fact, she wasn't making a fool of us. That was complete patronizing of South Africans. If you don't know what patronizing means, it means, that's basically what it means. It's when somebody belittles your, like, that is what she did. And that's why she, with the arrogance that she accompanied herself with, going to sit down. I was like, ma'am, one thing you will learn about South Africans, clearly I don't think you know us, maybe you forgot to be a South African, is that we are adamant in things that give us power, that entitles us as South Africans to execute. And Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act, not CPA. We know in the legal language you might idiomize it or what is it, abbreviated. But it's Criminal Procedure Act. It needs to be understood what you are talking about so that when we do citizens arrests and these illegal foreigners are wondering, are you a police officer? Are you a police? We'll tell them, no, I'm a citizen empowered by Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act, and I'm going to be making a citizen's arrest, and I'm going to hand you over to the police. Fellow South Africans, once you have done that, don't just leave them at the police station. You must remember you are taking them to their friends. Tomorrow you're going to see this person that you have citizen arrest or arrested back on the streets. Goodness knows what they might even do to you for executing citizen's arrest on them. So you need to make sure that they are processed. You sit there. And then that Home Affairs or immigration is called by the police to come and now process them for deportation. Let's not leave the police just because we handed over a criminal. No, it must not end there. Roll cameras also. Guys, you must roll them cameras as we do this so that you are able to defend yourself if a crooked or corrupt police officer that you are forcing to arrest their friend or the person that pays them protection fee and they don't want to do it, and then they turn around and they say, no, you're the one who committed a crime. You have evidence in your phone. And I would even go as far as say, go live. Because when you go live, the evidence, everybody becomes the witness. Whoever watched is a witness. So roll your cameras. See the police. When you take the suspect, don't show the face because one is innocent until proven guilty, remember? Don't show the criminal's face. But show that this is a illegal foreigner, whether you blur their face or you take them from the back, and show South Africans that citizen arrest was conducted and they were taken to the police station. And if they come back on the streets, back to the community, you are able to come back to South Africans and say, Nang, what happened? You are able now to hold the station commander of the police station that you took them to accountable and report them to the interministerial committee that is chaired by Mamuluko Kubai. Yeah, the one that says CPA Section 42. Yeah. See what's happening? So we must police the police after we have conducted citizens' arrests. I see the raid that was happening, I think it's Hillbrow, if I'm not mistaken. And people in Hillbrow must not feel comfortable. As long as there are South Africans there, nobody that is illegally in this country should feel comfortable knowing that South Africans can actually arrest me and then hand me over to the police and I get deported. This must sink in with every illegal foreigner in this country. We are empowered. And whoever, sometimes we lose some, but we also win some. Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act is regulated by the Constitution of this country. Inasmuch we have issues with this Constitution, but hey, it gave us the citizens something to get rid of things and bad rubbish that we do not want in our communities, like illegal foreigners. So I was watching this interministerial committee press briefing, and I was like, all words again, blah, 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 everybody blah, 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 blah. But I did pick up one thing about the Malawians that are congregated on a field in Sherwood, Durban. All of them, 1,400, but it's just all of them are illegally in the country, undocumented. So if this is the amount of people in Durban, because apparently they amounted to about 7,000 altogether, those that are in Gauteng, those that are in the Western Cape, those that are in the Free State, Northwest, Limpopo, everywhere. So clearly, we are sitting ducks as the people of South Africa. And it doesn't matter what race you are affected. You are a sitting duck. That's what you are. That, to me, was very concerning. But of course, we've been hearing these illegal aliens from the time Ghana repatriated its people. The majority of them were illegally in the country, undocumented. Only 10 were legal. Nigeria does the same thing. All 268 of them were illegally in the country. Malawi is also showing us the same thing. Of course, Zimbabwe, Utela Wayeka, and all the other African countries. But we the ones who are xenophobic, what do you call these ones that are here and refusing to leave? What phobia is that? Why would you fight to be in a country that is hurting you? Your own country was hurting you, but you ran away. But you don't want to run from a country that is unaliving you. Its people are unaliving you, according to you, by the way, when you're telling the world. What phobia do you call that? I'm very interested to hear what phobia, if South Africans are xenophobic, but what phobia is those that say, Asiyindawo, we are not leaving, but still say South Africa is xenophobic? And I also saw somewhere where they said South Africa is the most xenophobic country in the world. Then my question was, against which country? Which other country is known to be xenophobic, but South Africa is more xenophobic than that country? I know there's no answer to this. And the reason why we are being called xenophobic is because it's a propaganda to destroy the global image of South Africa. And the Interministerial Committee is not seeing it. There's no sense of urgency. By the way, in case you were wondering whatever happened, thank you again to Mr. Vuyo Zungula. I think Mr. Vuyo Zungula is in my head, or I'm in his head, whichever way it works, because we seem to be speaking the same language here. We seem to be remembering the same facts that many people have forgotten about, but I have not forgotten, and clearly he has not forgotten. Remember the Nigerian family that purported to be South Africans in Ireland, and they were seeking asylum, and the island was like, hang on a minute, South Africa is a fairly safe country. And they said, no, their lives are in danger. The gangsters are after them or something like that. You remember that family? And then they were subsequently deported to South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, was the 28th of February, 2026. And then we all asked, what happened to that family? Well, it turns out, according to Leon Schreiber in Parliament, when I was asked about this by Vuyo Zungula, is that the family was taken from the airport to Lindela. And they've been in Lindela since then, but they are awaiting deportation back to Nigeria because they are Nigerians. And we were like, yeah, well, we always knew about that, that they're Nigerians. But my issue was with Leon Schreiber. These people went to Ireland to destroy purposely our global image. And because of people like this lady, South Africa can no longer now enter Ireland visa-free since 2024. So why are we rolling over and playing dead? Shouldn't we be charging her with some kind of treason? And by the way, she also got our travel documents to Ireland fraudulently. That's what even Ireland reported. Isn't fraud a crime? But no, no, no. Let's just hop her on a plane on South African tax money back to Nigeria, where when she gets on the other side, she will still speak crap about South Africa. South Africa is exhausting. I can tell you that. This country is exhausting. Anyways, I thought I'd come here and, share my observation with Mamuluku Kubai, who said a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. I don't think the press briefing did anything to change South African people's minds. I think, if anything, it made them adamant to push forward. This government is failing to say the right words. And then on top of that, she comes and reminds us that we're part of globalization. So if we are part of globalization, so does that mean we need to roll over and play dead? Because when she says, when you come to South Africa, you need to also obey the law. What hardened criminal will take that instruction seriously? Because you need to be bold, decisive. Let it sink in that hardened criminal Nigerian who sells white powder, and make him think twice, like, after hearing that, maybe it's time to pack up and leave South Africa. But instead, don't play games here. Because that's what I would do if I was a hardened criminal who's a Nigerian drug lord. That's what I would laugh at her. But you can tell, once again, her speech is to tame us South Africans. But Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act, CPA, gives us the right to make citizens arrests. That you cannot take away from us. As a South African, when you do execute Section 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act, roll your cameras. Roll your cameras. So that the police know that you are videoizing everything that is happening. So that they don't turn around and say, oh, you did not follow the process. CPA is very simple. All the rules, very simple. That you must not be aggressive with the suspect, meaning that don't use maximum force. You use minimum force. If you're not sure of that, go to Google and Google what the rules are for Section 42. They will be outlined to you. They're not anything to, write home about. You just don't assault the individual, because you will be arrested, and I agree with that. You just do citizen's arrest, whether you misa, while you call 10,111. Whichever way, but don't use maximum force. Ungamshayi, ungamluisi, you can just jail until the police come, and then follow the police. Watch out, tell the police, I will be following you as you process this individual. As you call immigration or home affairs to take them away. We don't trust the police in this process that we are in right now. I don't trust them. But let me leave this video here. Whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Well, it's evening now. See each other tomorrow. Goodbye.